This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I am here with the one and only honey lover friend, Stash Cash, Lynn from This Little Shed of Mine, Tylee Early Bird, Homebody Trish, The Supreme View, P9 Travel Vlogs, The Source, T's Journey, Christy Love, Novelty Queens, Crystal's World, Lunar Dream. Would you rather get slapped every time you say, or would you rather have someone hold your man part every time you use the bathroom? Hashtag, are you locked in? Also, y'all know him as Chip. Would you rather be a stunt driver that has to crash into the ocean every time their cue is to go? Or would you rather be Cookie Monster and go live in Walmart?
What? Wait, Cookie Monster? Father, we thank you. This blessed mind. What? Wait, Cookie Monster? So I am Cookie Monster.
The Real Fee Nicole, DSYG, model Lorianne, Lightsfoot Des, Corey's World, Coach Mean Reen. I thought that was wild.
It is, but licking it, like you a whole nother level.
Ciao. Queen Alchemy, are you ready for these questions?
I am ready for these questions. I'm an open book. Let's go.
Okay. Hey, you guys. Thank y'all so much for being here. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I am here with my girly girl, Tiff's Take. Hey, girly, how you doing?
Hello, I am good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing, and you look so pretty. Yay!
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I'm so excited. This is definitely long awaited. Thank y'all all so much for being here. I am so geeked. Girl, are you ready to get into these 20 questions?
Okay, yeah, I'm a little nervous. I got nervous 30 minutes ago, but yes.
Yes, I'm so excited. Okay. So as y'all know, this is the original 20 Questions with Jay. So the first question I like to ask everybody is, what made you want to start YouTube?
Honestly, it was because I have been on the side of hiring content creators and working with influencers on behalf of a company. But I really would, in the next milestone of my life, I would like to have a small boutique agency that partners content creators with the appropriate brands, helps content creators to be able to get monetized, but also to be able to build their personal brand so that they can represent other brands. So I wanted to be able to see the other side of it and all of the things that you have to do as a content creator in order to be successful.
Well, that's absolutely amazing. I do want to just make sure that everything is going good on your channel because I see here that Tina is saying that you're not heard on your channel. Like your volume, I
Can you hear
believe,
me now, Tina?
working. I hope so, though.
Let me know if you can hear me now.
For anyone that's watching from Tiff's side, are y'all able to hear her clearly? You're
Dan,
able to hear her good?
I think that
Yes,
I
Tiff.
had it muted.
Okay, so Antonio said, "Hey Tiff, nice to meet you." I thought, yeah. Liana said that she can hear you.
Okay, I think I may have had it muted, but now it's
Oh,
unmuted.
it's still
So give
okay.
me a
You
number
unmuted it.
1 in my chat if it's better
Okay,
now.
they can hear you now. Okay, thank y'all so much. Y'all are so amazing. Well, that is absolutely incredible. So, do you have like steps as far as how you're going to make that goal happen?
Well, the first step was obviously to become a content creator and to learn the ins and out of content creation, learning YouTube Studio, TikTok, Facebook. I mean, I've already pretty well educated with Facebook, but Pinterest and just being able to learn everything that I can about content creation, and not necessarily the editing of it, but the bigger picture of it all, understanding the analytics. I think that the next thing would be is, I kind of have a business plan, and I've been saving up for it. So I think that the next thing would be to just solidify myself an LLC. And then I do have some of my like just friends, kids that are into social media. So I help them with their TikTok, help them
Okay.
with their YouTubes and their Facebook pages, their SEO, and all of that good stuff, and allow for them to kind of use me, or me to use them as my personal guinea pigs.
Okay. That's definitely amazing. I know that you would do so good at that. I know that for sure. Yes, that's exciting, girl. Period. Okay, so my next question for you has to do with one of the videos that you have on your channel, and it's actually your very first video that you did, which you entitled My YouTube Journey Day One, Just Do It. You stated in your video that you've been working at your job for 25 years at the time, and you had just gotten promoted. If you were to become financially free for being on YouTube and doing YouTube, do you think that you would leave your job?
Yes.
Yeah. I feel it. I ain't even gonna hold you, girl. I do feel that. Oh,
I
gee,
love my
okay.
job. I love the people that I get to work with. And I love all of the opportunities that it has allowed me. I started off in customer service on the phones. I do not have a college education, but just from starting off through customer service, I've been able to build our brand. I've helped people to open up stores and build their personal dreams of being able to have their own businesses. I've worked with different influencers, people like Meta World Peace and Travis Hunter,
Oh,
really
nice.
cool. Yeah, really cool people, and done some really cool things. I've learned how to manage budgets. I've learned how to manipulate, Excel, and, build files and PowerPoint presentations.
Oh,
So I would
wow.
love to be able to take those skills and now invest them towards myself.
Yes, girl. Oh my gosh, you have so much under your belt. What the heck? Hold on, we gotta bring in some applause for you, girl, because hello, that's crazy. Like you are actually lit as heck. Wow. Okay. Yeah, y'all better watch out because my girl's coming with a
And
storm.
Massive
You know
Mobile,
me?
you might be my 1,500th subscriber. I've been sitting at 1,499 for forever. So I
Oh
see
my God,
Massive Mobile window
girl.
tinting. I think you might be subscriber 1500.
I hope so. I definitely hope so because it's so crazy when you're at that 99, it always takes forever to get that one. You end up going up and down, up and down. Like that is so crazy. Stash, that's so funny, Chad. I'm actually using the ones that's up on here. Like, yeah.
Why is it
Okay.
muted?
Is it?
It
I don't
says
think
it's
it's.
muted, but I don't have it muted. Let me see.
Period. Yeah, thank y'all so much for showing up. Monique, Trisha in the building, Antonio, Stash Cash, Stabbins Tony, what's up? Worthy Life, what's going on, Brandon? Everybody in the building. Wifey, Elevated Precious Tina. What's popping, y'all? Twin. Thanks all of y'all. Effie Pooh, what's going on, y'all? Thank y'all so much for showing up. I appreciate y'all. Is it okay?
I don't know. You guys know I'm new to this. This is my first time doing
I
this,
don't
and I
think
did
anyone
something
said that
wrong.
it's muted. I think they said that it was fine before, so I think it's okay. I'm
See,
not
I'm
too sure.
seeing elevated saying you're muted over here.
Oh, Elevated said that?
Yep.
Elevated, is she still muted on her end? Or if anyone that's on Tiff's watching from Tiff's side, can y'all hear her? Well, let me continue going. Oh, they said that we can. Oh, they said that they can't hear you. I don't know why.
That's so weird.
Elevated said he's on
I don't
both.
have
But
it
can you hear
muted.
her from her side though? That's what we're asking. I don't know. Brandon said that he can hear you, and Tina said that they can hear you. I don't know. Maybe it's
That's
like
so
some
weird.
devices. I don't know, girl. Okay. So the next question I have for you here is, in your first video, you were debating about your channel name, whether you was going to go with Tiff's Ticks and Reviews or Tiffany's Take. What made you decide to pick the name Tiff's Take?
Because then I started getting bombarded with niche stuff and having to have a specific niche. And I didn't really have a niche. But I felt like Tiff's Takes or Tiffany's tips, and reviews was going to segment me to that category to where it was only going to be reviews and not more of the Tiff's takes. And when I switched it to the Tiff's takes, I just felt like I kind of broadened my channel's perspective, and so I learned from Chip, and I utilize my playlists in order to, I just think of it as the Tiff's Takes network. And each of my playlists is a different channel in the network. So depending on what you like, you can go to that channel in order to have that need satisfied, instead of me being able to right now try to have 500, pages and being able to keep up with lots of different pages. Even though I think I'm going to start another page.
Honestly, I kind of feel like I might do that as well, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But okay. Thank y'all so much for being here in the live. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I am here with Tiff's Take. Please make sure to go over to her channel, subscribe, and check out her content, okay? The next question I have for you here is, what made you hesitate to post your second video? So you posted your first video, and then the very next video you posted, you said that was your third video because you missed the second day. So what made you actually hesitate to post that video?
I think that my second video was a short.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
So I was playing around, and yeah, so my day 2 is actually a short.
Okay. So you was just kind of going back and forth as far as like videos and shorts and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, because whenever I was counting like my videos, I counted like strictly my videos, and my shorts would just be like shorts. Like they would just be like, out there. But
Yep.
speaking of it, because you actually did amazing on your shorts. So my next question I have for you here is, your shorts recording the BET Awards went crazy. One of them actually had 191,000 views, and another one had 239,000 views. What gave you the idea that posting the VT Awards as shorts was going to be like something that would blow up? Did you think that was going to happen, or were you just trying to show people things that they wasn't able to see?
I didn't think that it was going to blow up as big as it is, and it sucks because the one that actually blew up the most got copyrighted, and it
Oh,
got blocked.
dang.
Yes,
Oh,
it got blocked
dang.
and copywritten, and it had about a little close to a half a million views. And yes, I had to just delete it. I mean, I don't know if that's what I was supposed to do or make it unlisted, but I just deleted it. But when I did that, I was testing a theory. And it was that you have to be in the moment with your content and catching viral moments, like while they're live and while they're in action, in order for it to go viral. And I believe that because I literally was doing those shorts with my phone, and I was just hitting them off like one after the other. I was rewinding the television back, putting my little short up, doing the commentary, and I was literally learning as the shorts were hitting, because some of them, and I noticed that it was only after the BET Awards was over, and I also saw that with the MTV Awards. While I was posting those shorts while the show was live, none of them got copywritten.
Oh,
But
wow. That's
once
crazy.
I posted something, like if I already had the video recorded and I was just waiting to put in the title and the description, anything that I posted after the BET Awards had aired instantly got copywritten, and I had to delete them. So you have to, with that kind of content, you have to do it while it's live.
Yeah, I could believe that since it's actually happening fresh. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? There's no way for you to copy, like, write it if it hasn't happened yet. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So I could believe that. Okay. Yeah, we got to be careful, especially with us that want to be able to get monetized with those copywritten videos, honey, because they don't be playing with us for real. Okay. So my next question for you here is, what do you believe is holding you back from making your YouTube channel grow to its full potential?
Myself. Um, I just kind of get in my own way and get in my own feelings. A little bit of just self-doubt always creeps in and sets in. Sometimes I just don't even like to look at myself on camera. I'll go back and I will listen to my videos or listen to myself in videos, and I don't feel like I have proper speech etiquette. I say too much. So yeah, I am my worst enemy.
I feel like that's a lot of people. And that's why being able to do something like YouTube on a huge platform like how this is amazing, that you get to learn about yourself and you get to grow as you learn in front of so many people that we don't know. It's a beautiful thing. It's scary, but it helps you along the way. And I love it so much for that, because it's like you're getting so much out of it when you're doing YouTube. Not only are you building your channel, it's crazy. When you first start YouTube, you don't even really know, unless you probably done it before. If it's your very first time, you really don't know where the wind may blow you and how things are going to be. You know what I'm saying? Because something that you would think would be amazing doesn't turn heads at all. And something that's just like off the wall is the thing that pops off. And you want to follow what pops off, so you're going to continue to do that thing, and it's crazy. But I definitely get you, girl. I'm happy that you was able to start though. But yeah, that's how it is. Wow, like, yeah. So speaking of that, I do want to ask, my next question here is, if you were to pick a different niche that doesn't make you comfortable, but you believe it will help you get the views to make your page pop off, what niche would that be and why?
Oh, I would definitely be a shit talker. Um, I am a people watcher shit talker. I mean, like, if I could do the People Watch Network, that is definitely what it would be. It would have to be a faceless channel, because in my mind, I am the complete biggest jerk. I'm an asshole. And I do have a mouth like a trucker. I try
Not a
to,
trucker.
yes, like a trucker. Call somebody a lot lizard real quick.
Oh,
So
snap.
yeah. So it would be like probably reaction commentary like channel that is just funny. Because I am just completely unbarred to people that know me. They know I'm crazy.
Oh my gosh. And it's so wild because I know that you're an Aquarius. So I'm just like, girl, we do have a crazy side. I ain't gonna hold
Yes,
you.
yes.
But it ain't that
I
crazy though. It ain't that crazy though.
Now, I'm not crazy to the point to where I'm not gonna be that chick. I ain't never gonna slash your tires. You know why? Because I know how much tires cost, and I like
Yeah.
my tires. And I do believe in an eye for an eye in certain specs,
Mm,
but I
yeah.
don't believe in messing up somebody's stuff. Like, you work hard for your stuff, I work hard for my stuff. So if I get
Mm-hmm.
mad at you, I'm going to get mad at you in a way to where I'm just going to put you out of my life, but I'm not going to destroy your personal property, because I definitely believe do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And I don't want nobody to do me like that. So I'm not going to do somebody like that.
Yeah. I feel that. I do believe in like an eye for an eye too, so I feel you on that. Okay. So, my next question for you here is after your first video, 48 hours later, you went up 72 subscribers. And from that moment on, you was doing YouTube growth content. What made you want to stop doing the YouTube growth content?
I did have one troll. And it's funny because when I look back, I see that my YouTube growth content actually did much better than my current content does. But I just think that that was what the algorithm was doing at that time. Um, but I didn't want to get trapped into being a YouTube growth centric channel, because again, it was one of those things where I was discovering what my niche was, and I did not want for it to be specifically about YouTube. And that is where you and your channel actually helped, because I saw on your channel how there were times where, yes, you talked about YouTube and you talked about your YouTube growth, but it wasn't all the time. It wasn't the only thing that you talked about. And I appreciated that. And that's when I started seeing other channels where, yeah, for the most part, they're talking about their day to day and vlogs and just what's going on in the world, and that it's okay to have a mix between the two. But at first, I was literally just trying to go for what was going to always be evergreen content, stuff that
Yeah.
people would always search for.
I feel you on that because I used to think the same thing when I had first started. I started off doing like motivational videos and then I got into the whole YouTube growth thing. And I kind of wanted to vlog. So I was adding it in and all of that. I had like separate videos that was like full on, like whatever it was. But it wasn't even like vlogging necessarily. Even though it kind of was, it still wasn't the way that I wanted it to be, like how I do now. You know what I'm saying? But I used to think that I wasn't going to be able to get out of that because I was pulling in so many people that like this one particular thing and I wanted to
Yep.
switch it. And it kind of made me feel like I was going to have to start a whole new page and I really didn't want to do that. So I'm so happy that I decided to just like do what I wanted to do on my channel. You feel me? And that does scare a
Yep.
lot of people to want to do things like that. So I'm happy that you was able to do what you want to do on your channel, okay? Yes. Hey, you guys. Thank y'all so much for being here. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I am here with Tiff's Take. Please make sure to go over to her channel, subscribe, and check out her content, okay? So, my next question for you here is: would you rather have someone you don't know use all of your money for bad spending habits, or would you rather not be able to go to New York ever again? Like you would never be able to step foot in New York and nothing of that nature.
I've never been to New York. So sorry, New York. Stash, I will never meet you.
That is so crazy because everyone here would always love to go to New York, like ever. So you would just be like, never.
No, it is totally on my bucket list. I want to go to the Diamond District and suck up dirts out the cracks so that I can, get all of the diamond dust and all of the gold dust. Y'all know I spend way too much time on YouTube seeing all that stuff. Yes, I want to see all of that, all of the best food, or there's some good steakhouses in New York that I want to go to. I want to be able to go and see a Broadway show.
I've
But
always wanted to see a Broadway show too.
but giving my finances, and it's funny because I've been in that situation, to where I was going to ultimately have to give my information and my finances to somebody that was completely irresponsible, and I was like, not happening. I'll fire you before I do that. I told my lawyer, I will fire you.
Okay. So what if it was you had to stay in your hometown forever and collect all of the rats from New York City? Or you would have to have this person use all of your money for bad spending habits.
Dang, I guess I'm going to have a whole lot of Home Depot buckets, and my neighbors are not going to like me a lot. Um, but I'm telling oh, and God is going to cuss me out in heaven because he's going to be like, girl, why didn't you just give up the money? And I would have to tell him, rats need love too.
I don't think they need love for real. They don't need love with me. Not at all. Sure, not rats
I'm
need love
telling
too.
you, rats need
Nah,
love too.
I don't think they do. I don't think that they do. And there's way too many rats in New York City, to be honest. So them Home Depot buckets, honey, you're gonna need garbage trucks. I'm sorry.
We'd be selling
Yeah.
them to all of the universities and stuff, though, and all of the high schools and schools that have to do it. We'll sell them to the pet stores. So we'll get rid of them. We're going to
I'm
make
sure.
money off of the rats.
Gosh. Okay. So, my next question for you here is you have a video on your channel that you titled, They Denied Him Parole. Now They Want to Release Him Anyway. So, you stated how, from what you've been through, the criminal justice system is really just a justice system for criminals. And you feel like he wasn't given any support when you was talking in that video. So, if the whole parole was done in a different way that you found was going to be fair, how would you want it to have gone instead of the way that it actually went?
Um, I think that when you receive a sentence, you should have to complete that sentence before you're offered parole. Um, I don't understand. And I mean, maybe it's just me and my lack of knowledge on the criminal justice system. But I just don't understand how, especially in certain matters, like, I don't know, traffic court, stuff like that, I could see. But when it comes to someone being incarcerated because they took someone's life, I don't think that there should be a 75% of your time or an 80% of your time. I think that you should have to do 100% of that designated time. And then based on your behavior, that is when they seek parole. Or maybe you should have to do 90% of it. And that last year, then maybe you are offered parole. And then if you're denied parole, why do you keep getting the opportunity to get paroled every 6 months? Now, this is just my what I've been going through and my experience. I don't know if this is the same in every state, but this is the way that it is in damn Democratic Colorado. It's jacked up. It's definitely probably one of the major reasons why I changed my just even political affiliation, because I don't agree with it. I don't agree with the courts. Like, even when I was saying I would not, give up my money, I am a guardian grandparent, and my granddaughter's like dad, like when he was like going to court to try to see if he could get, more custody of her. That is when they were saying, oh, well, you have to, submit your finances over to his lawyer. And I was like, well, for what? And they were like, because he could go after you for child support. What? How can somebody that I've never, this ain't even my baby daddy, this is my grandchild. So I guess just some of the laws here in Colorado are just backwards. His family was allowed to be there at the court or at the jail for parole. His family was allowed to speak to the parole board, as to where I was the only person that was allowed to speak on behalf of my daughter to the parole board, and I had to do it over the phone. It wasn't even a video or a Skype, it was just a voice over the phone. And I was given a strict limitation of 10 minutes. So
Oh, wow.
everything was working in his favor. And then also, if someone has had issues in jail, so like literally, he had just gotten in trouble 2 weeks prior to the parole board hearing, to where it required for them to move him from one prison to another prison. So if you're getting in trouble in prison, why do we need you back out on the street? If you can't conduct yourself there, you really can't conduct yourself here.
I feel you on that. I definitely do feel you on that. That is so crazy. But so, despite it being him, if it was just like a person in general that ended up going to prison, do you think that everyone should have to actually do the exact time that they were served versus them having the possibility of parole?
So shortly thereafter, my parole board experience, Netflix released a documentary, JJ88. And it is a young man that took someone's life. And he ultimately was paroled, and he did get out of prison. Um, and I 100% think that he was released deservingly. Um, it definitely did change just some of my thoughts on it. Um, and that certain people in certain circumstances, that there are people that truly can be reformed. And after listening to that young man's story, and I listened to it on an interview that he did on YouTube before his Netflix documentary even came out. I just at first saw the premiere for the trailer for the Netflix documentary, and it sparked my interest because it was around something that I was currently facing. So I just wanted to deep dive and get, some deeper insight on, is it possible for someone to have remorse, and what does that look like? And JJ88 was able to show me what remorse does look like and what it sounds like, which this guy didn't. So, yes, I do believe that there are certain circumstances to where, yeah, people can be reformed and should be. And that's why I say, outside of taking, someone's life, and it really, it does, you have to look at each situation differently, because it is, everybody's situation is different. But in my case, it was something that he did purposefully. It is something that he does not feel remorseful for. So he should sit there.
I feel you on that. I definitely do. That is so crazy. And condolences again, because it is not easy not being able to have your child with you for real. My mom
Thank
lost her
you.
son to gun violence, so I understand what you're going through for sure.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here in the live. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I am here with Tiff's Take. Please make sure to go over to her channel, subscribe, and check out her content, okay? So, the next question I have here for you is, If you were only able to ask one question, what would you ask a crystal ball that would give you whatever answer you ask?
That's good. Just one question. Hmm. Um, will I live long enough to see my kids grow up? I mean, I have two 8-year olds. I have an 8-year old and a 9-year old. And both myself and my husband, well, I'll be 50 in February, and my husband will be, what, 52, 53 in January. So we're older parents. Um, and it would be nice. That is probably one of my biggest stresses is if anything were to happen to myself or my husband, is who would my kids go to?
Right.
Because all of my family members are both of my brothers are in their 70s, almost 80s. My mom is deceased. Everyone on my husband's family is pretty much deceased, or his family members live in California. Um, all of my biological family is deceased. My mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, they all died within a year of each other. So that is would be my biggest thing is, will I live for my kids to become adults?
That is a really good question because that is so scary to think about. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, that's deep. And I didn't know that your kids were so young. That is so crazy. So, do you mind me asking, how old was your daughter?
So my daughter was 20 years old. She had
Okay.
just turned 20 on March 7th of 2017, and her life was ended on April 1st of 2017.
Wow, that is so crazy. Mm-mm-mm. That would make me so like scared to think about my kids with them being like so young, like 8 and 9. But I'm so happy that they're at least that and they're not like 3 and 4, you know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah.
I'm happy for that. Yeah.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
during that time, my granddaughter was 6 months old, and I was 6 months pregnant.
Oh my gosh. Oh, goodness,
Yeah.
girl. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the next question I have here for you is, how was it being adopted? And what would you tell someone that is going through the like adoption agency to have them understand that there is a brighter side to it all?
I think that it's amazing. There is no better thing than to know that you were chosen. You know, everybody else, they have their parents, and you may have your parents, but your parents kind of didn't have no choice. Well, they did, but they still brought you home from the hospital. And my mom, though, she, even with all of the drama that was going to come with me, she chose me. So to have someone not only choose you, but to not she had two sons. It wasn't like she had to start over. And that was, I think, one of the things that kind of set me up for where I am today. They say that God has always walked, or has already walked around in your footprint.
Mm.
Well, I was 8 years old when I came to live with my mom, who was already in her 40s. And I have 8-year olds, and I'm in my 50s. So I think that it
Wow,
was
that's so
just
crazy,
setting.
right? It's like
Yes.
it's so
Yes.
crazy how things happen and you don't even understand how it happened
Hmm.
because when I think about like, for example, when I think about my mom losing her son, my brother, it's so crazy. Like, it's so sad that it happens, but I feel like that I literally thought like that had to happen in order for her to be able to like tend to me with what I had went through. You know what I'm saying? So it just like it never made sense to me until that happened. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like nobody would understand me, but she was able to understand exactly where I was going through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And tend to me in that way because of it. So you like know how it is. So that's incredible. It's so dope how things happen like that.
Yeah, God, his thoughts are not our thoughts and his ways are not our ways, but he sure does act in mysterious ways.
Hmm. Okay. So my next question is, what if a choice you made became a universal law that everyone had to follow? For example, if you chose to lie to save a friend, now everyone has to lie to save a friend. How would this change your decisions?
If I had to lie to save a friend, and then everybody had to lie to save a friend, well, I don't
Mhm.
repeat the question.
So if you hold on, wait, let me just read the whole thing over. What if you had to choose, or ugh, what if a choice you made became a universal law? So whatever you did becomes a universal law, right? And everyone had to follow. For example, if you chose to lie to save a friend, then everyone has to lie to save a friend. How would this change your decisions, like moving forward? Like, how would that change how you are and what you do? Like, what choices would you do in order to make better choices?
Would that have to be the law?
Yeah, everything you do would have to be that way. So if you seen $5 on the street and you seen it fall from out of somebody's pocket, instead of you picking up the $5 and giving it to them, you put it in your pocket. And so everyone did that to everyone. Like, what would you change about yourself that would be a reflection on the world, pretty much?
I would have to stop talking stuff about people behind their back then, because
Girl.
because we would have a whole world full of backbiters, boy. I'm telling you. But I like to, I do my good deed beads. So that's what I would make everybody pass out good deed beads and have to utilize them. But yeah, that would probably be it then, because I like to talk about people's outfits and stuff. I am not perfect. Um, and so yeah, I like to have bad thoughts in my mind. I don't let them escape. But I do. I do.
But what would you do to fix the law to make it not harmful?
Ugh. I mean, I guide myself by do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So, I mean, I guess that's how I would amend it is I would continue to move like that. I don't know. I don't think I get that question.
Yeah, so basically it's more so like you would just have to move in a way that you pretty much expect others, like how you said, do unto others as you want others to do unto you. You know what I'm saying? Like love your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? And all of that. But it's hard to do that knowing that you're just living your life. But if everything was like a reflection upon you to turn into a universal law, it becomes real difficult and it kind of shows you as a person. And your reflection of you reflects onto the world. That's pretty much what the question would be like. It would be like everything that you do turns the world either for better or for worse.
Well, I would say that, because that is though how I am. Like if you were to meet people at my job, or I say, I always at work I hide little stuff at work. Um on employee appreciation day, I bought 1,000 keychains. and I hid them all over the building, and all of the keychains had a saying on them, and I don't even remember the saying, but it was just, you know, it's something like just telling people that they are appreciated. Um, and yeah, I literally hid them all over the building, um, so that people could find them. I like to lift people's spirits up. I am probably the doctor in the building that people come to. A lot of the kids in the building, they think that I'm their age. And you know, when I tell them, nah, I could probably be your mom or your grandma, you know, they're a little bit shocked. They want for me to hang out with them. But that's just how I am to everybody. When I go into Starbucks, it's like cheers. Even in one of my Vlogtober vlogs, I'm at the grocery store and I'm addressing all of the sales associates by their names. That's because I literally do know all of their names. I know the manager, you know, of the store. Me and James, we cheers our Starbucks on Sundays when I do my grocery shopping. So yeah, like there was a time where I went into Starbucks because I'm a giver. I give everybody stuff all the time. And because I was in marketing, you know, I always give out free stuff for my brand. So one day I went to Starbucks and it just happened that I was having a horrible, horrible day. And I go into Starbucks and everyone in that Starbucks, all of the staff members had on one of my t-shirts. And I just thought that it was so cool. And I took a picture of it and I posted it onto my LinkedIn page. And then, believe it or not, Starbucks corporate called the store manager and was like, did you guys do a deal with, you know, my company? And they were like, no, this girl just gives us so many shirts. We have more of her brand shirts than we do our own work shirts. And, you know, the colors just collaborate. So we're able to get away with wearing them. But yeah, that's just me as a person.
I feel you. I definitely feel you on that. Anthony is so funny. Okay. So, my next question for you here is, what do you believe is the greatest threat facing the United States? And if you were the president of the United States, how would you fix that?
Ooh. Does it suck to say that the internet is probably a big threat? No, God, that's a hard one, Jay. Um, just right now, all of the destruction. You know, the fact that no one knows how to get along anymore and that everyone is so insanely sensitive. Um, I think that we make up too many, you know, extra words or even genders in order to make people feel comfortable. Um, when I think that we just need to get back to the truth. You know, the truth is the truth, and you're not always going to like what everybody says, and that's okay. But we need to get back to being able to have a discussion, being able to agree to disagree, and live to see our families tomorrow. It is okay for us to not agree on certain things, but I don't agree on the fact that because I'm a woman that now I'm supposed to be like some, what do they call them, a birthing person. You know, why can't I just be a woman? Why do I have to be a birthing person in order to satisfy someone that chose to be something else than what God designed them to be. That's not fair, you know.
I feel you.
So that's, I just think that we need to be able to get back to having a conversation, speaking the truth, and knowing that it's okay for us to be able to disagree and that there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay. I definitely feel you on that for sure. Okay. Thank y'all so much for being here in the live. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I am here with Tiff's Take. Please make sure to go over to her channel, subscribe, and check out her content, okay? So, my next question for you here is, what age were you when you got your first cell phone?
21.
Dang, 21. That's actually a good age. That is so crazy. Okay. So,
But hey, now, even though I'm old school, well, we was the only people on our block that had a car phone. So we did have a phone in our Cadillac. Yes, we did. We was the only people on the block that had one. But I was 21 years old when I received my first StarTAC cell phone, a little flip phone.
oh my gosh. Okay. So, what was your most expensive phone bill?
Probably right now, and it's $35. For 20 years, I didn't have a cell phone bill. So I I work for the cell phone company, so I never had a
Oh,
cell phone
that's
bill.
lit.
Yeah, I've never had a cell phone bill until just 5 years ago. And now I have a cell phone bill, and it's $35.
Oh, dang, girl. Okay, period. That is so lit. That is actually dope as heck, especially in this day and age. Like, you didn't have a cell phone bills for 20 years. That is crazy.
Never had a cell phone bill, and there was a point in time where I had probably 10 or 15 phones. Every time when I was in sales, every time we had a new phone come out, I got a new phone.
Dang, that's amazing. That is so dope. I hope you're not saying, Anthony, that you got your first phone at 41. I know that cannot be right.
He
Who said
lying.
41? Okay. So my next question for you here is, if you was to see a trolley about to hit and discard of five people, but by pulling a lever that was next to you, you'll be able to push it off of track and it will only hit one person, but that one person will be the person that you love the most. What would you do?
What was it that's going to hit them?
Like a trolley, like to say, like, if it was like a huge object, we'll say that. Thank you so much, Rodney. I appreciate you. Yeah, so if you was to
Now I have
see,
to pick who it's
Mhm.
going to hit.
No, you're not necessarily picking who is going to hit. You're going to choose which route is going to go. So let me read that again. If you was to see a trolley or a big object about to hit and discard of five people, but by pulling a lever that was next to you, you'll send it off of track. But instead of it hitting those five people, it will hit one person, but that one person will be the person that you love the most. Like, which way would you send the thing to go? Would you discard of the five people, or would you discard of the one person? And that one person is the person you love the most.
Ooh. Dang, I ain't even got five people. um.
Well, the five people would be five strangers.
Oh, I'm
So would
sorry.
you discard of five strangers, or would you save the one person that you love the most? So pretty much, would you end five lives, or would you end one life? But if you end that one
Um.
life, you'll be ending five. Or if you end the five,
I'm
you'll be
sorry,
ending
and
one.
this is awful, but I would probably, at this point, I would end the five. I've already dealt with losing the one that I love the most. So I know what that feels like. Um, and I would rather have that one person than anybody. So I would have to get rid of the five.
I feel you on that. But like, what if that those five people were like people that other people love the most?
It sucks. But I mean, I could probably stand to, because there's been a times where I just don't want to be here anymore either. So if the people that I love the most were not here, then I would feel like I didn't have to be here.
She said,
Like
"What
I'm
would
here
Jesus
for my
do?"
people. So if they weren't here, it would be easier for me to just lay down and die anyway.
I feel
So
you
them
on that.
five could have it.
Yeah. Effie's like, there's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah, no, there's no right or wrong one with that. It's difficult because somebody's gonna lose.
Yeah. Somebody is gonna lose. And it's either gonna be somebody or somebody's. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Okay. So my next question for you here is, would you rather get stuck in the bed and have people sleep on you? Or would you rather get trapped in the walls and watch people live their lives?
Oh, I would have to be trapped in the walls. I would be good with that. I always say I would love to be a fly on the wall. So to be like trapped in the walls and like not have anybody know that I was there and just be able to just watch what's going on. Oh yeah. Would I be like vampire to where, I'm gonna live like hundreds of years and stuff too? So I can be able to see all of the generations of people that come in and out the house. That would be fun.
Girl, you are so funny. I can imagine you wanting to be. There's a lot of people that would want to be like a fly on the wall where they can just actually watch.
Yes.
Because you'll be watching people in their most
Vulnerable state.
yeah, yeah. You would
Yes.
really get to see people for who they are for real when they're alone. So for you to be the wall, like just imagine if you're the wall, you get to hear and see things. You wouldn't even look
Yes.
at somebody the same
And
anymore.
then don't let me choose the building that I get to be the wall at. Oh, sweet Jesus. Put me at
So
the,
if you were, what building would you choose if you were the walls?
oh, I would be somewhere in Vegas. Give me the Bunny Ranch or something. That's horrible.
Girl,
Yeah, I
that
would want to
is
be
so
somewhere
crazy.
fun. So like Vegas, the Fountain Blue maybe, or that big ball thing. Yeah. Somewhere fun.
I feel you on that. I would want to be somewhere fun too. I would definitely want to be somewhere fun. I ain't even gonna hold you on that. I want to go back to Vegas. I feel that. I never been to Vegas. That would be
You've never
crazy.
been to Vegas?
Yeah, I never been to Vegas. I have never
Well,
been
I
to
guess
Vegas.
when
I
you're in
definitely want to go.
Colorado, that's like the only fun place to go. See, now I've never been to Atlanta. But in Colorado, Vegas is the only fun place to go because most people can get there in 12 hours. If you go with me, I'm going to get you there in about 8 hours. But yeah.
Okay, sure. I feel that. I need to go to Vegas. I need to travel more, like all over, period. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys so much for being here in the live. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I am here with Tiff's Take. Please make sure to go over to her channel, subscribe, and check out her content. So, this question here is actually your last question. So, thank you so much for making it this far into the live, into the show. And thank you guys so much for staying and being here. I appreciate y'all. So, this question is, what are your goals for your YouTube channel before the ending of 2025?
Well, I started my channel at the beginning of 2025. So monetization would definitely be a nice thing. I don't want to get to the point to where my watch hours start to drop off. So yeah, monetization would definitely be a good thing. Because I feel like I've kind of reached other milestones. I've gotten the brand deal stuff, so I know what that looks like to have different brand deals and agencies reach out to you. Um, the only thing that I haven't gotten is the monetization side of it to be able to see, pardon me, what the dashboard looks like. How many commercials should I be adding? I'd like to get hyped one day too, and all of that. So how long does it, what would my CPM be without having a niche, specifically? So all of those questions are still unanswered. And in order for me to kind of take my idea to the next level, monetization would be the key.
Yeah. So how far are you in your watch hours, if you don't mind me asking?
So I'm at like 1,500. It's really cool. It sucks. Now I'm gonna tell y'all. Technically, I already have close to 9,000 watch hours this year. 9,000, and it's all shorts, with the exception of 1,500, which is crazy. It just blows my mind. But when I'm looking at my studio, just within the past 7 days, which is the time that's kind of not already showing, currently I'm at 150 watch hours in a 7-day period. So looking forward for that to tick. Right now in a 28-day period, I'm trending at like 800 watch hours. So I'm going up. And that's one of the one things that I appreciate you for, is teaching me about Vlogtober, encouraging me to do Vlogtober, which has kind of taught me a little bit more of the consistency aspect of it and how being consistent can truly help your page and what it does do. So now, I'm at the pace to where I'm getting about 35 to 40 watch hours every day. Anthony 71, I did go back and I watched your interview that you did with Stash Cash, and you had dropped some, little gems in there. And y'all know now, I have at least 100 phones. And yeah, they all work and they all connected to the internet. And yes, I'm sure that my internet service provider is going to hate me. But when I say I have my little back cave phones going, yes. So sometimes I can't comment on your guys' videos. But if you notice that your playlist just all of a sudden skyrocketed, it is probably because I added you to one of the trap phones so that we could run that playlist. I'd be doing Elevated, I'd be doing Stash Cast. Jay, because I know that your 1-year anniversary it's coming up on the 23rd. I also started going back and I watched every one of your videos, and I purposefully didn't want to leave a comment on them because I didn't want you to know that I was doing market research. Because your YouTube birthday falls during Vlogtober. So I was doing some research. And I started going back and watching, your stuff. And I saw that you also were encouraged by DoDash. And I say that is the only good thing that girl did. Well, it might not be because I don't even know her. But I must say that even though she kind of went sketch, and, she's having some issues, and we're going to pray that she works through those. But because of her, a lot of content creators, Jay and myself included, she gave us what we needed, that encouragement in order for us to just do it. So I will never take that away from her. And I appreciate that from her because I mean, although she didn't advance the kingdom of God, or maybe she did, because we are going to be the next influencers that do advance the kingdom of God. So in her own way, she did. She advanced the kingdom of YouTube, and that got all of us content creators here, and we're going to use our platforms to advance the kingdom of God. So she did a good thing.
I feel you on that. Because I know you did do some videos on like Dodash talking all that, like, because a lot of people did say that, she was a scammer and a lot of different things. I was like, child.
Because the girl kept deleting all of my comments. So she can't delete my video. I was going to be able to say what I needed to say. So I did
You said
one
she kept
video.
deleting your comments?
Yes. And that's how I know that if she literally, who has that much time, especially with the amount of comments that she was getting? Yeah, any negative comment that she got, she deleted. And it wouldn't even be that I would leave negative comments. I was just asking like straight questions like, dang girl, you was making like $30,000 a month. What did you do with all of that money? You mean you had $30,000 a month and you couldn't take 10 to pay your rent for the year? I mean, make it make sense. You 40 years old. What are you doing out here in these streets? You're supposed to be teaching these kids the right way, and you out here acting like you 4, and then begging people for cash apps and stuff like that, and selling a hair product when you can't even do your own hair. Who does that? Who does that? So yeah, I did my little piece and I'm done.
Well, you definitely did do your own piece. That video got like 800 and something views on it and a lot of comments.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
ooh,
I
girl.
think it's my second most viewed video is Dodash.
Yeah. I seen the first one was the one chip challenge for some
That
guy
was me
doing the one
playing
chip challenge.
around, playing with editing. It was a whole bunch of 30 and 45-second clips, and we really did do that to that waiter in Mexico. And so yeah, I clipped them all together and made a video, and I was trying to test trending topics and choosing title, thumbnail, tags. And one chip challenge at one point had been viral. I saw a whole bunch of viral videos from it, so I was like, I'm gonna try it.
I feel it. I honestly do. It's a Worthy Life said that she wasn't even making 10,000 a month. I believe that she was making 10,000 a month at one point in time, because at one point in time she was getting a lot of views and people were really pouring into like her channel. And you have to understand, like, you being monetized, you're making money from the first of the month to the last day of the month. So all the views that you get in that entire month, everything that you accumulate, that's what you're getting at the ending of the next month. You feel me? So as much as she was doing, and on top of that, shorts and whatnot, like, she was definitely making money. You know what I'm saying? Making good
I,
money with
I do
that.
believe that her, as
Mm,
well as Mr. London, they during that time, and they were making YouTube money. So
mm,
YouTube was favoring them both. Dante had the men and the women. Dodash had the women and the Christians. So, they were pushing them through the algorithm. And I do honestly believe, because they also got, I feel like, and I don't know, because I haven't ever got no pay, but like, I don't know if they got like back pay or whatever, but there was a month like in January and February where their channels blew up. And during those months, they got millions of views. They got the majority of the views that they received in all of 2025 in around that January, February time period, to where, yeah, I would say that 2-month period, they probably made $20,000 or $30,000, even if it was just between the 2 months. And even not $30,000 in a month. Dante London, we saw what he did. He moved out of the projects. And that's the worst thing that I could say for anybody. And I kept telling him on his channel, go and fix your credit. go and fix your credit, because everything that you do, they're going to look at your credit. For your apartment, they're looking at your credit. When you got good credit, they're going to give it to you for free. You're not getting hit with all that interest. But because they had bad credit, they had to overpay. Because DoorDash had bad credit, she couldn't even buy her own plane ticket. She had to do stuff with debit cards. When you have a debit card, you have to pay more than what you would pay if you had a credit card, because they're reserving that money. If you have a low credit score, then you're going to pay. And it sucks because they make poor people poorer by lack of knowledge. And that's what it is. They know that you want it, but they know that you're probably not going to pay for it. So they get the majority of their money up front. And that's the reason why they're charging those high interest rates at 28 and 29%. You go to buy a $10,000 car, but at the end of that 5 years, you have paid $50,000 for that car. And you don't think about it until after the fact, but now it's too late. And that's what I kept telling him, your credit can't be that bad. Take $5,000, go and fix your credit, pay the stuff off in your credit, and it's going to update in 7 days. It's not like he was going to have to wait a year for the credit. If you pay all that stuff off, it is going to clear in 7 days, very, very quickly. Get a letter from the credit card agency, so that you have proof before you even pay it. And don't hire credit companies to fix your credit, because all they doing, you're just paying them for something that you can do yourself. 90% of the stuff on there you probably don't owe, or you can get, if it's $100, you could pay $20 and have it removed from your credit and be done with it. So fix your credit. Stop letting people get over on you because you have bad credit. And that's where they went wrong with their money, is everything was settled against them because they didn't have good credit.
That's so crazy. But it's true. Credit is literally like everything. It literally is. You really don't even need to have money if you have good credit. That's so wild though. But oh my gosh, man. Look at Anthony's just like that part. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
And you can fix your credit right here on YouTube. I fixed my credit based on
you can learn anything on
off
YouTube.
of
You really
YouTube.
can.
I know I got good credit. I go, if people be begging me to get something, I'd be like, no, thank you. That's why I stay out the mall, because I know I got good credit.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Yes, man. But this was so exciting. I'm so happy that I was able to have you on here. I can't wait until it's your time for the re-up. So I hope that a lot happens in your favor. So we have a lot that we can talk about when that time comes. But yes, you guys, thank y'all so much for being here in the live. This is 20 Questions with Jay, and I am here with Tiff's Take. Do you have anything you would like to say before we leave?
No, just thank you guys so much. I'm sorry that my StreamYard didn't work. I'm new to this, so I don't know. But one day somebody's going to show me how to use it, and I'll get better every day. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for joining in. Jay, just again, thank you so much for everything that you do. You are just so special to myself. But to the community just here on YouTube, you are a breath of fresh air. We love you. I'm glad to see that you are back in the studio. So your internet is doing good.
Oh,
yes.
Dang, you pay attention, girl.
I pay attention.
You pay attention. That
pay
is crazy.
attention.
You pay attention.
Yes.
That is wild.
Yes, I'm excited for you, and I just appreciate you. Anybody, if you have questions for me, I'm always an open book. If there's anything that I can do for you, if you need for me to watch your page, let me know. And also, I do have TubeBuddy. One thing that I don't do, but I always look at your guys' pages in conjunction with my TubeBuddy. When you guys launch new videos, I'll look at what the Tube Buddy is saying your SEO is. Like I'd be like studying like weird stuff that other people don't study. And sometimes I'd be wanting to, like, I did have one friend, Faithful Reject, and he I know that it worked because his page went from nothing to like 1,200 subscribers, and then all of a sudden he was monetized. But I would always send him little notes and say, hey, try this as your title instead of this. This is optimized to SEO 90%, and yours currently is only showing at 20%. I do not mind sharing my subscriptions with you guys. My email is in my details of my page. And yeah, send me an email and just be like, hey, look at my page and send me some screenshots of what I'm ranking at on this video. And I will do it.
Wow. Shoot, don't mind if I do, because because child, I need to know, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But oh my gosh, you're so amazing, Tiff. I'm so happy that you was able to come up on here. I'm so excited. Hey, Corey, thank you so much for coming in. We're actually just ending, but I appreciate all of y'all. Thank y'all so much. And if you're not already connected to Tiff, please make sure to go over to her channel and subscribe and check out her content, because she is doing Vlogtober. So she's posting every day. And yeah, my girl is doing her big one. Yes, you guys. But I appreciate all y'all for coming in. This is 20 Questions with Jay. Again, I'm here with Tiff's Take. Make sure y'all go and subscribe and check out my girl. And I hope that you
The
guys have
massive
an
mobile, sorry.
amazing.
Thank you for being my 1,500th subscriber.
Oh yeah, congratulations for making it to 1,500, girl, because it takes a lot to get up there. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
thank
Period.
you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, girl. But y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.